History in the making. This is a live look down Bremner Boulevard outside Scotiabank Arena. And this is the jam-packed section of Jurassic Park. Game 5 of the NBA Finals is on the way. Our Raptors one win away from becoming NBA champions. It's a run that's brought this country together. We are live tonight just outside Jurassic Park on Bremner Boulevard. It is a sea of Raptor fans. You can see them all behind me, thousands of them, hoping that our team can beat the Warriors and become NBA champions tonight. Let's get right to Greg Ross, who's in the thick of things in Jurassic Park. Greg, what's happening down there?
Well, I can tell you there's a lot of nervous anticipation here watching this game. The Raptors have trailed by as many as 14 points, but they've managed to close the gap as we close out the third quarter here. So the Raptors making it close, but the big story of this game really happening in the first half, and it was Kevin Durant making his first start in more than a month for the Golden State Warriors, and he got off to a very good start for the Warriors. In fact, he had 11 points early on in this game, and he was 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. That had a lot of people feeling very, very nervous early on. But then, early on in the second quarter, Kevin Durant went down awkwardly, and there was a cheer from the crowd, just a momentary cheer from the crowd as he got up and he was hobbling. But then players like Serge Ibaka and Fred VanVleet got up and they kind of calmed the crowd down and said, hey, that's not what we're all about here in Toronto, here in Canada. And the crowd actually got up on their feet. They gave Kevin Durant a standing ovation as he was helped off the court and began chanting KD, KD, as he was taken back to the locker room. We're told he's now left the arena on crutches and will not be returning to this game. And the Raptor fans obviously showing some class as he leaves the court in this game, but his team still doing very well without him in this game. As I said, at one point leading by as many as 14 points. The Raptors have closed the gap. How are you guys feeling right now in this game? Are you nervous with the Raptors trailing going into the fourth quarter against a powerhouse like the Golden State Warriors?
Absolutely, I'm nervous. Are you guys nervous?
No, never.
So why I'm
Never
nervous is, you know, we've got to take the lead. And if we can take the lead in the first 2 to 3 to 4 minutes, then I think we'll roll. And then I won't be as nervous. You know, that's just the ebb and flow of a ball game. The momentum has to come to us. We've been playing from behind the whole game. And to your point, when you spoke about what was going on in the room, out here, the fans did cheer when KD got hurt as well.
They were chanting out here in Jurassic Park as well. Well, let me ask you guys this. Absolutely. Well, let me ask you guys this, though. I mean, you seem very confident, but this is the Golden State Warriors. They're the two-time defending champs. Why are you not nervous right now?
It doesn't matter who are the champions. This is the time. This is our game. We're gonna win this game, and we're taking the win tonight, and we're having a big party. So
well, there's no doubt.
Come and join us.
I will say this. You do not want to head back to Oakland for Game 6 of this series and allow the Warriors to get back into it with a home date and a chance to even this series up at 3 games apiece and force a 7th and deciding game, because we know anything can happen in basketball. Anything can happen when it's a one-game winner-take-all, and the Raptors right now in a good position with 3 opportunities to close out this series, Dwight. And I know that all of these fans here and all of those fans inside the arena, they want them to close this series out tonight.
Yes, they do, Greg, and we have an unbelievable crowd right behind us here at the other end from where you are, down at the base of the CN Tower, right by Rogers Center. It feels like the entire city is out here tonight, the anticipation of a championship. We are feeling it. Let's head over to Farah Morelli now. She's live from Front and York. And Farah, the city has actually added some closures to help manage the massive crowd out here tonight.
Yeah, they have, Dwight. They've actually shut down part of the Gardner Expressway. Just about an hour ago, they shut down the exit ramps at Yonge, York, and Bay. Those are the exit ramps, and they're asking people to use Spadina and Jarvis. And keep in mind, that's in addition to the closures that we already have here in downtown. So if you're trying to drive to get around here, trying to get into downtown, it's going to be a huge challenge. Once again, those closures for you are Maple Leaf Square. Of course, that area around there is going to be closed until 2 a.m. York Street is shut down between Lakeshore and Front, and Bremner is, of course, closed between Lower Simcoe and York. Dwight, we still have a lot of basketball to play, of course. One more quarter, which is just getting started. I can hear behind me here. But once this game wraps, a lot of people are going to be filtering through Union Station behind me here. And keep in mind that closure of the bus terminal that we talked about earlier is now in effect. So people who are hoping to get on a GO bus tonight actually have to go to 2 other locations.
Customers who are traveling by bus usually go into the bus terminal. They will either have to connect up at Highway 407 or at Port Credit. This is almost like the first time in Toronto history we're seeing something so gigantic, so it's a very fluid situation. So what customers need to know is that instead of just checking right now for times, when they're going out, the best thing they can do is check on the GO alerts and our website, because we will be updating things constantly.
We've also got extra TTC trains and buses running. Those trains are also running later than usual tonight till 2:25. But honestly, right now, Dwight, getting home is the furthest thing from people's minds here at Kelly's Landing. The bar is so full, people are peering in through the glass to get in the final moments of the game as the fourth quarter gets underway. And I can tell you there's a lot of nervous faces here.
Yes, we're nervous, but things are looking better. Thank you for that, Farah. You can hear the crowd cheering behind me here. Now, anywhere you look in the city's court tonight, you're bound to see Toronto Police keeping a close eye on things. When you get this many people in one place, you know there could be trouble. Now, Alicia San has a look at the preparations that have gone into making sure that win or lose tonight, everything goes smoothly.
A dance of forklifts.
No, that's good.
A ballet of barricades. This is Jurassic Park in progress.
I think the city is well positioned for this celebration.
The police are working in tandem with emergency services.
We the North. We the North.
And the park's host, Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, to ensure the evening goes smoothly.
The MLSC has hired a large component of security members to come and work shoulder to shoulder with our officers. It really just goes to show the people that they can feel safe and secure.
The city has lent some heavy-duty equipment as well. This is a salt truck used as an insulation measure to protect the Jurassic Park crowd from a vehicle attack.
Certainly the van attack was a terrible situation that happened April 23rd last year, and we're alive to not just the van attack that happened in Toronto, but those types of attacks that happen around the world. On a number of the intersections, we have concrete blocks and barriers. That's really about making sure that the community can be safe in behind those areas so that they can watch and enjoy the atmosphere without having to worry about anything nefarious that may come up behind them.
There are also security measures in place that we can't see. Plainclothes officers will be among the crowds, and others will be watching from a distance. And
there's a continuous intelligence lens that's letting me know what is going on and what we need to be looking at and what we need to be considering.
as much as today is about crowd protection, it's also about crowd control. Game 5 Jurassic Park is set up to be the biggest yet. It now extends all the way down Bremner to just outside the Rogers Centre. And after, all those people will spill out onto the streets.
The fact that by the time the game ends, it'll be closer to midnight. We would hope most people are at home, safely at home. So then it's a matter of thousands instead of tens of thousands of people.
It's going to be a party tonight, so the most important thing is that we focus on the party and focus on celebrating the Raptors doing a good job making us proud.
Yeah, are you guys going to be on your best behavior when you spill out onto the streets?
Yeah, we will be, hopefully.
Yeah, you promise?
100%, promise. Yeah, we'll be on our best behavior.
Ali Chiasson, CBC News, Toronto.
Parties across Canada are tuning into tonight's Game 5. There are 40 viewing parties happening from coast to coast to coast. Ontario is well covered, as you can see, from Ajax to Brampton, Innisfil to Orangeville, Thunder Bay to Windsor, and outside the province, there are parties in Abbotsford and Prince Rupert, BC, one in Regina and one all the way out in Halifax. But one of the biggest tonight is in the GTA. It is in Mississauga. That location has become known as Jurassic Park West, and with good reason. Celebration Square in Mississauga has thousands of people who have come out for the Raptors playoff games, and as you can hear, it looks like we just scored there. That's the case again tonight. They're screaming here. Asha Tomlinson is out in Mississauga, and Asha, I'm guessing they're screaming out there too.
I'm having a hard time, Dwight. I mean, I want to talk to you, obviously, but I'm also trying to look at the game up here on the big screen and check the score. So we're looking at 92-87 for Golden State. But, I mean, there's 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go. There's still a lot of time, and Toronto Raps are playing hard. They're trying to close that gap and bring Toronto and Canada an NBA title. Now, Mississauga is special. Not only is it one of the largest viewing parties outside the downtown core of Toronto, but it's also home to the Toronto Raptors farm team, right? The Raptors 905, and there are some players on the floor tonight who have been called up who are vying for the NBA title. We're talking about Pascal Siakam, Norman Powell, Fred VanVleet, to name a few. Okay, 92-89. Toronto is closing the deficit right now. The crowd is going wild, but you know, watching the Toronto Raps games and the Raptors 905 games is a family affair for this gentleman here, Anton James. It's getting really loud. I hope you can hear me, but take me through what it's like to have your family here watching basketball.
I tell you, man, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We're waiting 24 years, nothing but excitement. This is a definite time in life.
And tell me about the Raptors 905. You've been to a couple of games. You see the players that have been called up and they're playing tonight. What is that like to you to see those players doing so well on an international scale?
I think that's the perfect thing. You know, it's great to see local players. Like my son, he plays basketball as well. And so when they see local guys doing it, they figure, you know, with some hard work, they can do it too. So this is an ideal scenario.
10-year-old Miles James plays basketball, right?
Of course.
And what do you think about the Toronto Raptors?
I think they're just generally awesome. Because, well, for example, Pascal Siakam, he used to play for the 905 Raptors, but he advanced his way up to the Toronto Raptors. It's hard work and practice. I think I can become a Toronto Raptor too.
It inspires you to play on the NBA level, huh?
Yes.
How do you think they're going to do?
No doubt about it. We got them. It slow us down for a little while there, but we definitely got this. They're going down tonight.
The crowd is going well. Give me your best chant right now.
Let's go, Raptors!
We the North!
Thank you so much, guys. So as you can see, everyone's getting hype. Everyone's getting excited. I'm trying to see what's happening right now. Everyone's standing up. What are we seeing? Okay, there's something happening on the roof. People are taking pictures. We'll find out what's happening. But I tell you, so this place is packed, approximately 20,000 people here, and usually this is called Celebration Square, Dwight. As you know, these fans are hoping to celebrate an historic win tonight.
All right, thank you for that, Asha, out in Jurassic Park West, formerly known as Celebration Square in Mississauga. We've got our own celebration going on right here. We're hoping that the Raps will pull it off, and we will go into the wee hours of the morning. We have special coverage of Game 5 this hour. We still have lots of Raptor stories coming your way, but first, Mike Wise will have your news of the day after the break, including this next CBC exclusive.
CBC Toronto has spoken to some international students who say they feel they have no choice than to work more hours than their study permits allow. I'm Talia Ricci, and coming up, we also hear from an associate professor at Ryerson University who says there isn't enough being done to support the influx of international students coming in.
You are looking at a live shot down Bremner, a shot of Jurassic Park and Celebration Square in Mississauga. You can see thousands of fans watching a very close Game 5, 95-91 right now. The Raptors taking on the Warriors, hoping to even the score and hopefully take home a win, meaning they will take the championship tonight. We'll bring you more coverage of the Raptors in a few minutes, but first, some other stories we're following tonight. International students are speaking out tonight about why they work more hours than their study permits allow. It comes after a foreign student was caught driving a truck and now faces deportation for working more than 20 hours a week. Talia Ricci has more in this exclusive story.
They're falling asleep in school corridors and on buses. Abhishek Hastar can spot the international students who are going straight from school to work. And that's because he's been there.
I used to do factory 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. There are plenty of students who would be breaking the law, to be honest, right now.
He says to make ends meet, he had no choice. International students are allowed to work up to 20 hours a week off campus during the school year.
We want the same rights.
Thousands have rallied around Jobandeep Sandhu in an attempt to stop his deportation. The Migrant Workers Alliance for Change says after Sandhu's case went public, more than 1,000 students reached out to the group.
According to government numbers, there were around 316,000 study permit holders in Ontario in 2018, compared to just under 200,000 in 2015. Ontario has seen the biggest jump in the number of foreign students in the last 3 years compared to other provinces. But an associate professor at Ryerson University says there isn't enough being done to ensure that these students are properly housed and employed.
This is a huge sort of a tangled web that needs to be discerned, that needs to be properly regulated, I think.
Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada says limiting off-campus work to 20 hours per week while classes in session reflects that the student is genuinely pursuing their studies.
I came here for studying.
This international student shows CBC Toronto his transcripts. He's got a 90s average in his engineering program. He admits he's worked more than he's allowed with his study permit in the past at a truck wash. We've agreed not to use his name because he's afraid he'll be deported.
Every international student in here, he knows that if he doesn't study, one day he has to go back.
Talia Ricci, CBC News, Toronto.
And a war of words erupted on Twitter today between the Premier, MPP Lisa MacLeod, and Canadian actor Kiefer Sutherland. It all started with this tweet. The Premier quoted from a Financial Post editorial that MPP Lisa MacLeod wrote. She argued that renowned Saskatchewan Premier Tommy Douglas would have approved of the Ontario PC's moves towards fiscal discipline. Douglas happens to be the grandfather of Kiefer Sutherland. He lashed out against the pair, saying he was fiscally responsible, but not at the expense of social and human services. Not long after that, MacLeod posted this tweet slamming Sutherland's show in which he plays the President of the United States. Well, today marked the latest chapter in the nearly year-long battle between Toronto and the province. Both sides were in court today, facing off over the Ford government's move to chop Toronto City Council from a planned 47-ward system down to 25. City Hall reporter Lauren Pelly has more on what happened.
While most of the city was gearing up for a battle on the basketball court today, another showdown was happening in this courthouse behind me, Ontario's Court of Appeal, where the province is fighting a lower court's ruling on their council cuts legislation that came out last summer and caused immense controversy. Now, the question today is whether Premier Doug Ford's sudden changes, what they mean for democracy. Was changing the number of wards partway through an election just par for the course under the province's sweeping purview, or did it stifle freedom of speech? Now, there's no question critics say that's the case. There were protests and legal challenges last summer. But with all that blowback now in the past, it all comes down to the arguments we heard in court today.
The animated response on the part of some groups in the public to the introduction of Bill 5 was, oh, we lost our chance to displace a whole bunch of incumbents or to fill a whole bunch of vacancies, because there are vacancies. The number one problem with council turnover is incumbency. That's the problem. And that's not affected by Bill 5.
We suggest that it's not possible to cure the infringements that took place in this particular, because we have one election. The confusion has already been created.
While the city is arguing the province's changes may have tainted that election process, Mayor John Tory is now looking forward, and he's raising questions about the level of power the province has. He's questioning whether or not they should have that much control over a city the size of Toronto.
The legal challenge for us is an uphill one because the Constitution does say what it says in terms of cities being creatures of the province. But we're hopeful that these arguments will be listened to very carefully, and I guess we'll see what happens. You never know with courts; they're as unpredictable as sports.
This hearing is continuing tomorrow, but it will be quite some time before we find out the decision from the panel of judges. Lauren Pelly, CBC News, Toronto.
There's a live shot of our waterfront. You can probably hear the screeds from now. Toronto has taken a 98-95 lead. Just over 4 minutes remaining. The CN Tower lit up red there for our Raptors. We'll have more about Game 5 happening right now in just a little bit. First, we'll check in with Colette Kennedy and our forecast. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Colette Kennedy joins us with her extended forecast. We had a couple days of no rain ahead of us, but you said Wednesday mostly looks good. I'm curious what you meant by that.
Yeah, I'll walk us all through this. What happens is Wednesday, it does look good until we get way late into the day, and then that's when the next system's going to be moving in, bringing back some precipitation again. We had a great weekend, so, we got to kind of celebrate that in terms of the weather conditions, but obviously today, not what everyone would have picked. Our average high at this time of year, 23 degrees, and today's high, and that was a struggle, and that was back at the wee morning hours, and then in fact the temperature kind of came down a little bit from there. But not only the rain moving away, it's that the clouds clearing out overnight tonight. It sets us up for really nice sky conditions on Tuesday, so that's why we have the sunshine. It's just behind that cold front that winds more towards the west northwest, and that flow is a little bit chilly, and it's going to be a bit strong not only tonight but tomorrow morning, and then they back off a little bit by tomorrow afternoon. I'll show you what I mean as we get into Wednesday. So the beginning of the day, again, sunshine. We'll only see a few clouds. Then clouds build in towards the afternoon and evening hours. It's actually going to be quite late on Wednesday. It looks like at this point with the timing of this system, Wednesday into Thursday morning, that next system moves in and brings us the rain showers. Southwestern Ontario, breezy here as well overnight tonight, but cleared right out. And then for tomorrow, temperatures there in the low 20s, just a couple degrees off seasonal for southwestern Ontario. Overnight tonight, a look at our lows. Bit of that cloud cover at first helps with the temperature staying up there, and then it moves on out. Tomorrow afternoon, low 20s with sunshine. Especially if you're protected away from those winds, you're going to find that things are quite pleasant. So when you're driving in your car and you got the sun shining in, feels good. It's just sometimes towards the downtown core especially, or anywhere you get into that kind of wind tunnel situation, it is going to be a little bit cooler, and it'll knock a bit off how that 21 feels. Wednesday, with that increase in cloudiness, there you go, 21 degrees still. So in terms of the temperatures, not doing too badly. It's Wednesday night into Thursday as that rain starts to make its way in. It looks like the temperatures, I may be a little optimistic here, saying 19 for the high. It looks like they'll be a bit on the cooler side, so at least some upper teens around the GTA. Into Friday, still a chance Friday, not only for some cloud cover, but for some showery activity. Temperature starts to come up. Friday into Saturday looks a little bit breezy. I do always like to point out, though, that's still several days off in terms of our forecast and looking at what the models are doing, so I'm not going to get too worried about a wet weekend yet. We'll keep watching that one, though, Mike.
So we'll just focus on the Tuesday and Wednesday. Looking good.
Yes.
Thanks, Colette.
Sounds good.
Fans are packed into Jurassic Park watching a very tight Game 5 unfold. Toronto is ahead 103-97. We'll bring you some highlights of all things Raptors after the break.
The weather update is brought to you by Train Extreme Conditions Testing. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling brand.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Raptors are born.
And now, the starting lineup for your Toronto Raptors!
Toronto Raptors, it's a beautiful thing. Here is Vince Connor with his first
trying to get free. Carter at the buzzer. No good. We are done. We are done. Look at it. I don't got to say mine. It's beautiful.
DeRozan from deep as he drills it from Cookstown.
When you get a chance to get a top 5 player, which it doesn't come very often, I think you have to jump on it.
Looks at the clock, turns the corner for the win.
We are live outside Jurassic Park on Bremner Boulevard, watching the game with a few thousand of our closest friends here, and they witnessed a potentially crucial moment tonight when this happened.
First field goal. Scoops it up. Durant is down, and Ibaka is fouled, and Kevin Durant down. See him trying to make that a move.
Playing in his first game since May 8th, Kevin Durant went down on the court and grabbed his leg. Durant had to be helped to the dressing room. We've learned he will have an MRI tomorrow.
Right back to the locker room.
You're looking live at Jurassic Park. The Raptors taking on the Warriors. It is a, oh no, 9-0 run by the wrong team. Toronto could take home a championship tonight, but the Warriors are not making it easy, folks. Fans lined up to get a spot in Jurassic Park all weekend. In fact, there were so many people sleeping in tents, it almost looked like a campsite, and that's where our Magna Garba Selassie spent the night.
For me, it was move-in day.
Hi guys, we're staying all night, yeah.
These fans have done more than that. Some have been here all weekend. They came dressed for the part, signs in hand, and chants ready to go.
Raptor in 5! Yeah! Woo!
Including Velda Foster and her son Matthew Da Silva. They are no strangers to Jurassic Park.
We've discovered that being outside in Jurassic Park is the best place, like with all the people and the energy and just the camaraderie and everything.
We even got won a contest in Jurassic Park to go to Game 4 in Oakland, California, to see them beat the Warriors.
What was that like to be in that stadium at that point?
It was awesome.
Rats in 5! Rats in 5!
Fans went all out to make this a true campsite, pitching tents.
Some people here came prepared. Look at this tent. Hey guys, can I come in?
Of course.
Can you just give me a little tour of your place here?
Well, this is our bear skin, you know, to keep me warm. We got a little lamp. I don't think we're gonna need it because all the city lights, but we got some snacks, we got some drinks.
Outside to pass the time, games were played, but Chance King is focused on one game.
Let's go Raptors, baby. Raptors in 5.
Let's go Raptors!
Yeah!
There were some special moments throughout the night, like when Raptors president Masai Ujiri stopped by.
Masai, CBC here. Why did you want to come out here and see the fans?
Because they are cool, best fans in the world.
Happy birthday to you!
Even Prashant Siva got to feel the love from all these fans as he rang in his 33rd birthday at midnight. His birthday wish?
We're making history on my birthday, that's it.
And this American came to witness it. He's a Raptors and Miami Heat fan, but he says what Toronto has is one of a kind.
This is organic, this is real. You don't find this anywhere, and credit to you guys. You attracted a New Orleanian to come all the way up to witness this. I mean, you have people here camp days before. That would be unheard of in Miami.
Eventually, the party here died down. Tarps came out to protect the fans from the rain, and it was time to call it a night.
Magda Garba Selassie, CBC News.
Great job out there with Magda last night. Less than a minute left in the game. Let's head back to Greg Ross in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, well, Dwight, right now, less than 30 seconds to go, 29.9 seconds to be exact. And right now, the Raptors find themselves trailing by 1. This is a tight game that is going to go right down the wire, and you know that when it's close like this, especially in the NBA Finals, especially in a clinching game, these last 30 seconds could take 30 minutes. So right now, you see the Raptors getting set to inbounds the ball here. It's actually going to be Golden State ball. A 1-point game. The Raptors need to come up with a huge defensive stop here, obviously, to give themselves a chance to win this game. And they're underway now. Golden State with possession in this game. The Raptors on defense in their own end with the clock ticking down, under 20 seconds to go now. Can the Raptors come up with a big stop when it counts the most? And right now, we just watched as Steph Curry's complaining. It looks like he's going to be charged with an offensive foul. That would be good news for the Raptors if that is the case. Right now, you see DeMarcus Cousins shaking his head, and we're just watching the replay of this, and it looks like it may be Raptors ball here. And if that is the case, the Raptors will have 15 seconds to try and close this game out, trailing by 1. And here they go. The Raptors on offense. Fred VanVleet has the ball for the Raptors, and he's passed it off to Kawhi Leonard. That's the man you want to have this ball. Under 5 seconds to go. VanVleet now with the ball. Lowry, the shot at the buzzer, and it doesn't go. The Golden State Warriors managed to hang on and win by 1, and they are now trailing in this series 3-2. So the Raptors with a chance. They had the ball in their hands as the clock wound down, but this time it was Kyle Lowry taking that buzzer beater, and he could not get it to go. So the Raptors now will have to travel back to Oakland for Game 6 of this series to try and close it out there. And if not, they might have to come home for a Game 7. So the Raptors now allowing the Warriors to get back in this series. And you can see there's a lot of disappointed fans here behind me in Jurassic Park who were hoping to celebrate an NBA championship tonight. They're going to have to wait at least a couple of more nights, and it may be even longer, as the Raptors failed to close it out. We're just watching the replay of Kyle Lowry's shot there, and you can see the celebration from the Golden State Warriors. This is a tough one, Dwight. The Raptors trailed almost the entire night. They managed to close the gap. They had a fantastic run in the fourth quarter, but they just could not close the deal, and they'll head to Oakland for Game 6 of this series.
Thank you for bringing a great job there, bringing us the end of the game. Greg, I am here with two disappointed Raptor fans. I am here with Jackie and daughter Jada. Jada, you said when you saw our Raptors loss, you said you want to cry. Is that how you're feeling right now?
No.
No. You know that it's not over, right? We still have a couple of games to pull this off. Little disappointing, Jackie, but you know what? We lost by a little bit. Kevin came back. He got out of the game, but there's still hope. The Raptors can really still do this.
Most definitely, yeah. We're going to win this.
So, Jada, I know we didn't do it tonight, and you were really hoping, Mom, that you stay up late and everything, but are you still confident that your favorite team can win an NBA championship this year?
Yes.
That's it, just yes. Guaranteed.
Yes.
All right. So, Jackie, why was it important for you to come down here with your little one and have her take this?
Creating history in Toronto.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jada, are you a player too?
I used to.
Mom says you need to get back into it. Yeah. The fans are just leaving here. You know what? It was an exciting night. We had a lot of fun. We would have rather come away with a win. We lost by only 3. Now, do you think that we're going to do it in, in Golden State, or do you want to risk it and have them come back home and finishing it off at home? But that'll mean a 7-game series, so you got to go through another Game 7, and Kawhi may need another shot.
Finish it.
What do you say? You
Toronto?
take a chance, or you want them to go and come back home?
Who?
So the Raptors are going to go down there and play. You want them to just get it over with in Golden State?
Or come back to Toronto and win
Game
it?
7.
Come back to Toronto.
Oh,
yeah?
Toronto, I guess.
Okay, I call it in Game 7. I think, though, that I would rather see them finish it in Golden State. My heart can't take it. Thousands of fans in Jurassic Park taken in that moment when our Raptors had that last shot. We had a great shot before with the shot from Kawhi. We couldn't pull it off tonight, but you know what? There's still hope. It's not over. Raptors are still up 3-2.
Yeah, we're doing this.
All right, we still have some folks out in the crowd. Is Greg still down at Jurassic Park? Can we go back to Greg and see how some of the fans? All right, let's head out. Let's head out to Farah Morali. Thousands of fans in Jurassic Park taking in that moment. They are heading home now. Farah, we talked about this being an orderly heading home tonight. Let's hope it stays that way because it looks like folks behind you are heading home in an orderly fashion.
Yeah, you can see the crowds are just filtering out now at York and Front Street, all pretty quiet, a lot of long faces. Couple of cheers over there, actually. A lot of optimism. A lot of optimism because we still have a lot of basketball to play in this series. I've been chatting with folks who've been watching the game from outside of the bar. Right over here we have Tyrone, who's been standing outside of Kelly's Landing because it was so full. You were watching the game from outside. How are you feeling right now?
I'm very excited. I know we lost today, but there's too much energy out here in Toronto, so for sure we're going to win. We're going to win the finals.
How are you feeling right in that moment when the buzzer went off and we lost? Like, what was going through your head?
Yeah, I was kind of upset. I swore at the top of my voice, but I know we're going to win the finals. There's just too much energy in Toronto. There's too much energy here. We're going to win.
The next game, we're going to be going back to Golden State. We're going back to Oakland for the next game. Are you confident we can take it in, not at the home court, in the away court?
You know what? I am confident because I think we do better, not at home. We do better outside of home. So, yeah, we're definitely going to kill them.
Now, what are you going to be doing for the next game?
I'd probably be out here live. I like the liveness. I live downtown, so I'll probably be out here looking at the game live, either at Jurassic Park or at a bar or wherever.
Sounds like you're hopeful. You're optimistic. We can take this.
Oh, for sure. I have good positive hopes. Like I said, the energy's live, so I'm quite confident we're gonna win. Right?
Tyrone, your friends seem to think so too. Tyrone, thanks very much for chatting with us.
No problem.
Get on.
Not the voice of the city, man.
That is Tyrone. We've been chatting with him. As you can see now, the crowds are filtering out, and it's getting a lot busier. A lot of people trying to get home. As you mentioned earlier, those subways. I like this optimism. A lot of people still feeling surprisingly happy after that loss, Dwight. And just a reminder to people about those subways. We know they are running a little bit later tonight. If there are people who are going to be drinking away their sorrows at the pubs downtown, their subways are going to be running until 2:25 until the morning. Lots of very long faces again here tonight. But as you heard from Tyrone, a lot of optimism too. Maybe we can take this. We can take this series in Oakland. We'll wait and see, Dwight.
You know what? I think we can. We're a pretty confident bunch here in Toronto because this team looked good even tonight. They did not lose by that much, and the crowd has been really inspirational. You know what's really been inspirational too? All of how this, I guess, team has brought this country together. Let's take a look at a mashup now of our national anthem. It's been an inspirational run, and it is not over yet. Going down in defeat by 1 tonight. Let's head out to Greg Ross. He is in the main part of Jurassic Square, right by the, I was about to say the Air Canada Centre, Scotiabank Arena. Greg, how's it going down there? Disappointed fans, but still a good showing for our Raptors tonight.
Absolutely, Dwight. It was a very close game. The Raptors battled hard, especially after trailing by 14 at one point in this game. But you can see the Jurassic Park is emptying out pretty quickly here as fans are leaving. No celebration tonight, not the celebration they were hoping for anyways. It is a 106-105 victory for the Golden State Warriors in this game. But, I mean, just an incredible game, really, going back and forth. We saw Kawhi Leonard in that fourth quarter almost take over this game for the Raptors. He scored, I think it was something like 12 straight points. He had a bunch of rebounds. I mean, it looked like he was just about to take over this game, and somehow the Golden State Warriors, that 9-0 run, and then they were able to hold on to that lead by a very, very slim margin. So a tough one for the Raptors, but let's face it, Dwight, this is the Golden State Warriors. Anybody who expected going into this that this was going to be a short series, well, I think we would have told them that they were crazy. This is a series that we would have expected to go 5, 6, 7 games if the Raptors were going to win it, and now they're going to need at least 6 to get the job done. And let's face it, again, if I told you before this series that the Raptors were going to be up 3-2 heading to Oakland for Game 6, I think people would have been pretty happy. That's the opportunity the Raptors had. This was one chance for them to close out the series. They didn't get it done, but the good news is they did have a 3-1 lead. So they still have 2 more chances to close out this series and win their first ever NBA championship. Whether or not they get it done in Oakland remains to be seen. It's a tough building to play in. Now, we did see the Raptors win 2 straight there on the road in this series. Whether or not they can go and win a 3rd NBA Finals game in Golden State, well, that's going to be a tough task for the Raptors. But again, they fought hard this season. They had the 2nd best record in the NBA. And that means for the Raptors that they do get that 7th and deciding game, if it is needed, here at Scotiabank Arena, one way or the other. The Raptors are going to have 2 chances to close this out. I imagine there will be another huge contingent of fans here at Jurassic Park when they play Game 6 of this series. I can imagine, I bet you they'll be hoping for better weather as well. So many people who lined up for days to be here for this game. Obviously going home disappointment, but that disappointment could turn to celebration if the Raptors are able to do it in the next 2 games. But we're going to have to wait a little bit longer to see if they're able to pull it off, Dwight.
Well, Greg, I called Raptors in 7. I'm hoping it doesn't go to 7 as much as I'd like them to win at home. We take the championship if we have to get into Golden State, too. Thank you for that, Greg. Let's go next to Farah Morelli. She has some disappointed fans on their way home. But, you know, we're down a little bit tonight, but Farah, this is far from over for our Toronto Raptors.
It is far from over, and I'm joined now with a couple of fans who were just in Jurassic Park. They drove in from Sarnia, Ontario. Connor and Jesse, how are you guys feeling right now?
The experience was amazing, but Rob's in 6. We lost by 1.
I think they think the Raps are going to take it in 6. I'm telling you, Dwight. Not a lot of optimism here. A lot of people here.
We're Canada. We're Canada. 6.
Jesse, they're going. The team's going back to Oakland for Game 6. What do you think? Do you think that's going to be a disadvantage for them going back to Oakland to play Game 6? Do you think they can take it there?
You know what? Leonard can take it anywhere. The Raps can take it anywhere. But we're going to take it. And we're going to win.
Tell him, bro.
All right, somebody go save Farah, please. She's
excited fans.
All right, Farah.
I tell you, you can't find anyone here who's upset right now.
Poor girl, she can't get together.
All right, just imagine of what that would be like if we actually won tonight, right? This is Toronto fans after a loss. We have, is it Shelby?
Sarah.
Shelby and Sarah here with me now. I'm not going to say anything about this shirt, but you've probably seen it online. That is not Kawhi Leonard's wife or girlfriend. That's actually Steph Curry's wife, who's from Toronto, and that picture has been making the rounds on the internet. Hopefully it didn't give him any inspiration to beat us tonight. How are you guys feeling? We lost by 1. Durant came back. They started the game great, not us, Golden State, but we really fought back hard. How are we feeling? Do you think we still can pull this off?
I'm so proud of Toronto tonight. Like, we really played a really good game. I'm so happy. Go Toronto, go Raptors.
You think we're still going to pull it off?
100%. Like, the way we fought back in the 3rd and 4th quarter and the way that they, like, kept bringing it back. We were up, we were down, we were up, we were down. And then, I feel terrible that Durant got injured again. But at the same time, like, we really showed that it's not just about Kawhi. It's not just about one player.
Yes.
We're such a team.
Yes.
I'm so proud.
Well, Kawhi's whole thing, he doesn't play hero ball. He plays basketball,
Yes,
and
he
he
does.
makes everybody
Yes.
around him better. Are we confident, even though we had a big chance tonight? It's not often you get a championship team like this on the ropes, and we had them on the ropes. Do you feel, though, a little bit, because, you know, they have come back from being down 3-1 before, this team, right?
Yes.
We're gonna win.
That's
I have no
it.
doubt. I have no doubt. I am so confident.
Wow.
Like, no.
Whose shirt are you wearing, by the way?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Your shirt. Oh, Jalen. Oh, who is that? No, it's Terrence Ross. I thought it was Jalen Rose for a second. It's a very, no, listen. It just means you're not a bandwagoner, that you've been with this team, repping this team for a long time.
Yes, and listen, I want to say, when we win, the energy of this summer is going to be unreal.
Crazy, right?
Toronto is going to own the summer.
Does Drake have to put out a new album if we win the championship?
I think he should. I think this should be something that reflects it, something that honors the Raptors, but we'll see. I think he would.
As Jamaicans would say, are you mean?
And I do understand what that means. She's like, you know what? How you mean? It means like, what are you even asking that? It doesn't really matter. Of course we got this. Thank you for the confidence, ladies. Thank you for being a good crowd out here tonight at Jurassic Park. I'm going to say that I don't know about the shirt, though. I think she is a Toronto lady, though. She is from Toronto. So we'll give it with Kawhi Leonard. That's it. Now, Kawhi Leonard has become an inspiration for young people in this city. I don't know if we want to still talk about that, not just for his skills, but just for the way he's come back from adversity throughout his life. Is that one of the things you guys respect about our superstar?
Honestly, like, Toronto has made us so proud. I don't care what happens after the series. I'm super proud of them.
I think Kawhi is like one of the most humble superstars I've ever seen to grace Toronto or represent Toronto, and I'm just so proud that it's him.
Ladies, I really wish I was here celebrating a championship with you tonight. It's unfortunate that we're not, but we still got a couple more games to just finish this up and get our team their first ever ring right here. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for being on. Go Raps, go. We're continuing our coverage here. I'm waiting for the control room to kind of give me some guidance here as to where they want to go next as we go somewhere. Let's go back to Greg Ross in Jurassic Park with some more fans. Greg.
Well, Dwight, we've actually made our way down to the court here. This is the court where they were hoping to have a confetti celebration and hoping the Raptors, a lot of these fans here were hoping the Raptors would be receiving the championship trophy. Not happening tonight, but again, as we said, 2 more opportunities, but you can see down here on court level, I mean, just a crazy night here. The Raptors managed to pull to within 1. They had the ball in their hands in the dying seconds with under 15 seconds to go. They had the last shot of the game, and I'm standing just steps from where Kawhi Leonard hit that buzzer beater in Game 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers. Remember, the forward bounces off the rim. We almost had a championship moment like that tonight. Kyle Lowry at the other end of the court with a chance to close this game out, but he just couldn't get the shot to go. So it means back to Oakland. It means more travel. It means a longer series. It means more excitement for these fans. It means more fans lining up to get into Jurassic Park. This one's going to go on. 2 more opportunities for the Raptors to close this thing out, Dwight. And let's face it, it's going to go right down to the wire, I think. I mean, it is the Golden State Warriors. We saw Kevin Durant come back in this game tonight. We saw Kevin Durant hobble off the court. Is going to be able to come back and play in this series again after what we saw. He left the arena in crutches. He has to have an MRI done on his leg tomorrow to see what kind of condition he's in. But I cannot imagine Kevin Durant starting another game in this series. That could be a good thing for the Toronto Raptors. We saw how powerful a player he can be. He scored 11 points in a very short period of time in this game tonight, including 3 three-pointers. He was 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. An incredible start to this game, and I think a lot of fans were very nervous about that. So that's one thing that Raptor fans can look forward to in Game 6 of this series. Likely no Kevin Durant for Game 6 and probably not Game 7 if they needed it. So, Dwight, I'll send it back to you from down here courtside. No celebration, no confetti, no trophy presentation here for the Raptors tonight. That's what a lot of fans came here to see. They'll have to wait.
Oh, we were so hoping to see that floor covered in confetti tonight, but they may have to do it not at home. And hopefully, you know what, I don't really want that Game 7. Let's see how the rest of the country is handling this loss for our Raptors tonight. Let's head out to Nova Scotia and Brett Ruskin.
Well, the only confetti on the ground here is the confetti of garbage being cleaned up. That's the only kind of thing that you can see in terms of confetti. There's no celebration here either. Fans just devastated once again. I have a couple of fans here. Come on in, guys. So for folks who weren't here at this game, how did it feel being in this space here?
The energy is just crazy. It's so amazing how everyone came together for the game. And even though it wasn't the outcome we wanted, it was a really cool experience. Super fun, and just you'd feel like you're in Jurassic Park. So
Yeah, that's the good news, that it was super fun and it was exciting. But
at the end wasn't as great.
Yeah. So those last couple of seconds, what did it feel like? Did time slow down? What was it like?
Yeah, everything just kind of went in slow-mo. It was kind of heartbreaking because they were down in the first, and then they came up and tied it and then pulled ahead, and you thought they were going to have it, and then just didn't happen. Open three, hit the backboard, but whatever. We got them in the 6, so.
Next game.
Next game, Raps in 6.
How did it feel?
Honestly, energy was through the roof. We were united. Lost Game 5. We're coming for Game 6 for sure.
Are you guys going to come back here at Game 6?
I will be in attendance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and
you.
good to see you. And so again, lots of folks who came out here are again promising to come back here next game as well. But it was just people held their breath at that last couple of seconds, and it was just the whole room here, 1,000 people, just shrunk down. It was really sad. But Game 6 is coming up, and we'll see if the Raptors can pull it off.
I have to agree with you there, Brett. It was deflating when we missed that shot at the end, just like it was such elation when Kawhi hit the shot against Philly to take it off. So the fans are just clearing out now here at Jurassic Park. We still have a few stragglers, but there was some worry tonight with this many people in this small area that we could have some problems. A couple of smoke bombs went off right after the Raptors lost, but so far, just an orderly exit for the thousands and thousands of people that were here watching this basketball game tonight, hoping that we could be celebrating a championship for our Toronto Raptors. It did not happen, but we still have 2 more shots at taking this championship. If we don't do it in Oakland, we get to come here and party and do it all again with Game 7 right here in the T-Dot. Disappointing night for our Raptors, but folks, still a chance for Toronto's first NBA championship ever.
Opportunity at the end with Lowry and a 3 for the win. There will be
as he attempted to get out on Steph Curry. Look at this play. Great boys. Put that pressure on whenever you can. Kawhi Leonard, great job right here. I don't know how you don't get a call on that play, but persisting and getting all the way and then testing Durant again.
Kawhi wants it. Pulls up, sends it to North. Playoff foul to the rim. Timeout.
He's not going to be intimidated by anybody. And releasing that ball so soft.
Lowry with another steal to the trailing Siakam, swooping through by Draymond.
Again.
Kawhi finds Pascal in the crowd, lays it up and through. It's a 1-point game. Here's Kawhi